Hello, friends, and welcome to the very first episode of Resilience with Tasha Schuh. I am so excited that you are here. And I'm so excited that you're here because this podcast has been months in the making. There has been a lot of thought, planning, and heart behind it. And there were months of excitement, moments of hesitation, and moments where I wondered if I was ready to step into something new. And now it's finally coming together. I have many friends who do podcasts and they're like, Tasha, you just have to start. And I'm like, I'm not perfect. I'm not sure how to do this. They're like, you just have to start. So here I am. And I'm a little nervous because this space feels different than what I'm used to. When I speak, I'm often sharing a refined message that I've delivered many times. And so this podcast gives me the freedom to slow down, to go deeper, and share parts of my story and my heart that I've never really had the space to share before. And so, in saying all of this, I just really ask for your grace. This is new for me, scary for me, but as I step into this new space, I am genuinely excited about what's possible here, about what's going to happen and whose lives that I will be able to impact, because that is my heart and my passion. I also realize that there are a lot of other podcasts out there. So I do not take it lightly that you chose to listen to this one. So whether you're listening during a busy day, quiet moment, whether you're driving to work or you're resting, I am truly honored that you are here. So for those of you who do not know me, or maybe you're new to me, my name is Tasha Schuh, and I am a resilience coach. I am a speaker and an author. And when I was 16 years old, I was in a theater accident that left me a quadriplegic. And in the matter of one step, my life changed instantly. Everything I thought my future would look like shifted in that moment. My plans, my independence, and the story I had imagined for myself. And that experience didn't just change my circumstances, it shaped my purpose. Not quickly, certainly not easily, but over time, through challenge and growth and learning how to adapt to a life I never expected. So if you're listening today and your life doesn't look like the way you thought it would, you are in a safe place. You are here for a reason, and this podcast is for you. So thank you for being here, and I'm really excited for what is going to come from this. So I have to say that one of the greatest things to come from my accident is the ability to help others who are navigating their own hard seasons of life. That's really my heart and my passion. So over the years, I've shared my story through speaking and writing, and I've written 2 books. And while those were incredibly meaningful, they're titled My Last Step Backward and My Next Move Forward, there were so many details, so many lessons, and so many moments that I never had the opportunity to share fully. There just wasn't always room to go deep. Even when I thought, I'll write my books, I'll tell everything. And then when they were like 250 pages, I'm like, I have to cut things out. It's too long. So this podcast really gives me that space. And I am really, really, really thrilled because I've also loved being a guest speaker on other people's podcasts. And every time I finish recording, I think to myself, that was so much fun. I cannot wait to do that again. And so creating my own podcast felt like a natural next step, a place to connect consistently, honestly, and over time. So my goal for each episode is to be about 30 minutes. And my plan is to share every 2 weeks, so twice a month, really long enough to go deep, but still doable for busy lives. So as I was diving into this podcast, I was thinking about who my listeners would be. And many of you may be from an event that I've spoken at, whether that's a conference, a school, an educator event. And so I just wanted to take a moment to share a little bit of that journey because speaking has been a huge part of my life for a long time. So I've been speaking full time since 2007, and it has been truly one of the greatest honors of my life. In my early years, my focus of speaking really focused mostly on conferences, organizations, churches, and events, really sharing my story and message of resilience, hope with adult audiences. And then before I got married, I traveled with caregivers who supported me on the road. I didn't do a lot of traveling for speaking. It was more local. And I'm so grateful for those people that really made that chapter of my life possible. But after I got married, my husband Doug and I began working together in this work. And he really became my teammate in speaking, travel, and in life. And so together, our focus on speaking really began to shift in about 2014 when a close friend of mine lost her son to suicide. And Doug and I felt a strong pull to begin speaking in schools, to talk openly about mental health, resilience, hope, and the importance of support, the importance of asking for help. And since then, we've spent the majority of our time speaking in middle and high schools. Some elementary schools, we're actually doing that more and more, and we love that. And many staff and educator conferences. And so we've had the honor, crazy enough, we've had the honor of speaking to over 120,000 students and educators. And that number continues to grow as our schedule stays very, very full. So I'll share more about this in this journey as the podcast continues. But I just wanted you to understand where my passion for resilience, for mental health, and education comes from, because this work isn't just something that we do, it is deeply connected to our purpose. More recently, kind of a new chapter in my life is the fact that I've stepped into resilience coaching, and it has been incredibly meaningful. Through coaching, I have seen how powerful transformation can be when people have support, tools, and hope. And I've really learned people don't need fixing. They just need guidance, encouragement, and reminders of what's possible. And so many of the people I work with are resilient, but exhausted, strong, but unsure of what's next. And so this podcast is really an extension of those coaching conversations. The same themes, the same tools, the same heart, now shared in a way that more people can access. So this podcast also helps people learn more about my coaching and my speaking work. I also have a course titled The Path Method. I have a community that I would love for you to join. So if you'd like to learn more, please visit my website at tashaschuh.com/coaching. It's just simply an open invitation. I want to pause for a moment and talk about what resilience really is, because it's a word we often hear it, but many people don't fully understand it. I didn't fully understand it when I first heard it, and it's just become such a passion. It's become such a word that not only represents my life, but that I just love sharing with others. And the reason why I love sharing it with others is because resilience isn't something we're born with. It is something that we learn. I mean, research shows this. And the only way resilience is built is by going through challenges. And every single one of us will face them. And so resilience is the ability to adapt, to grow, and to keep going even when life is hard. And so this is why resilience matters so deeply in the realm of mental health, which is one of my greatest passions, especially when it comes to helping others and helping families. And so resilience supports emotional well-being. It supports confidence, perspective, and hope, and it helps people navigate hard seasons in healthy, sustainable ways. And so that's why teaching resilience skills is at the heart of everything I do. It's why I named my podcast Resilience with Tasha Schuh, because I know we all need it, and I know what it can do for your life. I know what it's done for me, and I'm going to share that all throughout this podcast. So few things I just want to mention is that this podcast is going to be real and authentic. There is not going to be a lot of editing, but that means that there also won't be perfection. So I hope that you like that and that you identify with that, because for me, authenticity and vulnerability are really, really important. So you're going to hear personal stories. You're going to hear faith woven naturally into my journey. You're going to hear mental health tools and honest conversations about identity, grief, joy, and growth. And you're also going to hear from special guests, people who have impacted my life, people who were part of my recovery, and others with powerful resilience stories. I am so excited for this because, like I mentioned earlier, I have been a guest speaker on many podcasts and they are so much fun. So I'm excited to have people who have impacted my life, who've been a part of my journey, and who have inspiring stories also to be included in this podcast. So my hope is that you finish each episode feeling encouraged, understood, and reminded you're not alone, and reminded that you are stronger than you realize, that you can get through this. And life has its challenges. Life's not fair, but with resilience, we can overcome any challenge we face. So I just kind of want to go through a breakdown of what the first 3 parts of my podcast are going to look like. So the first season is going to include 30 episodes that are intentionally designed. So I have thought long and hard about this. I have really put this together intentionally so that you will see my story and then you will see other parts also. So the first part is going to be sharing my story slowly and honestly, the accident, hospital, rehab, my faith, independence, college, driving, building my home, meeting Doug, and finding my voice as a speaker. So that's going to be part 1. It's going to be about 15 to 17 episodes. Part 2 is going to be the path to resilience, which is path is my platform, what I've learned, it's the message, it's my passion. It's really the 4 things that have helped me be resilient in my journey. And path is an acronym for purpose, attitude, team, and hope. And those really are 4 lived principles that guide everything I teach. And those 4 things have helped me through every challenge I have faced. And I truly believe that they can help you in the challenges that you are facing or will be facing in your future. So I'm super excited about part 2 in sharing the path to resilience. Then we're going to have part 3, and that's going to be resilience in action. This is everyday resilience, gratitude, boundaries, mindset, self-care, burnout. And this is where it's going to include guest stories. And the thing I'm most excited about is conversations with Doug. So Doug, first of all, Doug's hilarious. So I cannot wait to bring him into the podcast. He's excited to join because he's just a natural, and it's going to be so much fun to talk about some of these topics and other topics that, whether you have an idea and you have a question for Doug and I, or just things that Doug and I have on our heart to share, he's going to be joining me. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So this is a podcast that people can return to, not just once, but over time. So this is going to be kind of the layout of my first season, and hope you'll join me in watching or listening. These are going to be both audio and video. They will be on my YouTube channel. I'm a visual person, so I wanted to provide it also visually in case people want to see me, see my guests, and see Doug. You can watch it on both places where podcasts are hosted and where on my YouTube channel. So this podcast, I just also want to say, is really a legacy project for me. It's a place where my story and resilience tools live in depth for anyone who wants to learn from them. And that's always been my heart. That I want to help others. I want to help people overcome. I want to help people thrive despite whatever their circumstances are. And so even if a few people find encouragement, strength, or hope here, then it is totally worth it. So I would love for you to be a part of this. I would love for you to share topic ideas. I would love for you to share guest suggestions or questions that you want explored. I am creating this for you. So would love for you to chime in if there's something that I forget in a podcast, or you want me to dive deeper into something, I would love to know. So in the next episode, this is very, very exciting for me, I am going to be sharing the day that changed everything, which is really the story of my accident and the moment that my life shifted forever. So stay tuned and be watching for that. This is going to have details that I don't think I've ever shared. And I am really excited to dive into that message with you. So thank you for being here. Truly, truly, thank you. Thank you for joining me. And if you just need something today to take with you, just know that there's always hope. Hope is my favorite word, and hope is so powerful. And so just know that you can love your life. I've learned that in my journey, even being a quadriplegic. You can love your life even if it doesn't look the way that you expected. So, see you next time. Thanks for joining me.